Okay, I got to get over there. Hi. Doing a little video to talk to you, parents, about how you can set up, oh, there I am, some easy, quick experiments regarding the water cycle. And these can be done with stuff that you have around. Maybe it's easier if I sit. Hopefully I can sit. Okay, hi. I told you we'd be outside today, and here we are. Sorry if I'm a little crooked. My tripod is taking a beating these days and traveling with me. Okay, so basically what we're going to talk about is how the water cycle is how water moves around and changes form. That there's water all around us, there's water inside us, there's water up in the air, and so we want to give children some language for that and let them have some fun with that. Okay? So let's see, the first thing we're going to set up is something that can stay out for quite a while, and we'll need to. So just have a little clear votive. I'm going to fill it with water, you know, at a pretty high level. Then I'm going to mark it and date it. So this is going to be our setup for evaporation. We're going to talk about how water that is a solid in here, or a liquid rather, sorry. Today is March 19th? Check your date. Put your date on here and mark the level. And then put this somewhere fairly warm in your house. You could leave it outside, but this is probably something you'll want to leave out for a couple of weeks so that you can watch the water level go down as the water gets warm enough to become vapor, and then you'll see the level of water decrease. So we're going to talk about evaporation. We almost always have one of these out in our classroom and then forget about it, and then somebody will go back and rediscover that the evaporation jar of water has shown some significant changes. So you would put that somewhere in your house where it can stay. If you have younger siblings, you might want to put it on a high shelf. Evaporation. And then I would put a sign next to it. It doesn't have to be this large and this green to show that that's what you're working on, evaporation. Okay, so we're going to move our evaporation experiment over to the side. Yeehaw! There we go. It's out here in the sunshine. Okay, condensation is probably something that they're aware of already. If you're having a nice cold glass of lemonade or iced tea, but maybe they haven't given it that name, or maybe you have. Maybe your children notice when you go out in the morning and there's some water that's condensed from the water vapor in the air and is cooled down and is on your car. And I'm going to send you definitions, and it's going to be more graceful than this. I'm also going to send you a handwriting sheet with these terms and a coloring sheet with these terms. But I want to show you basically how you could set it up, because we're a hands-on method, and I wish I could be at your house right now, but I can't. So to show condensation, an easy way to do that is to fill another cup or glass with ice and add water and let it sit. And then you're going to be able to see that. So let's write a sign for that too, condensation. Sorry, I'm out here and neighbors are pulling in, so I have to look, you know. Condensation. Okay. So that experiment is going to be happening right over here, that demonstration. All right, so maybe evaporation is a term that your children are familiar with, maybe condensation is, but maybe the next one they're not as much, and that's percolation. And so when we talk about water moving around in the water cycle, we talk about how when we have precipitation, and you can get creative with that one if you want to sprinkle anybody with water. When we have precipitation, when water is coming down from the clouds, that it does percolate through the soil into the aquifer. So you get groundwater under here. And so I just set up a little garden soil and some of the stones, and you can just pour this over and watch it percolate through. It might be even more fun if you added some food coloring. And things like this seem so simple, and to us as adults it might think, well, that's not very exciting. But when you're a little kid creating this, recreating this, and let them do the setup with you and experiencing it is going to reinforce and make memorable the idea of percolation in a way that just isn't the same if you're doing it in a book. Look at all that percolation, which only makes me think of coffee, which only makes me panic about my supply of coffee. Okay, so we're gonna make a sign for that too, percolation. The reason I didn't pre-write these signs, and you don't want to either if you're working with your children, is every time they see you writing language, that's important. So we try to write in front of the children a lot, even when labeling maps or labeling books. So we have a lot of these blank sheets around the classroom. Okay, and your list in your daily digest yesterday, I said if you can, do this with a houseplant, or if there's a tree with low enough leaves. We also want to talk about how plants are part of this. Water cycle, of course, they're absorbing water through the roots, and they're also releasing some water on the backside, and that's called transpiration. So what you can do to kind of see some of that, if your plant doesn't mind and you have the ability to do that, is to cover a leaf or two and put a rubber band around it. Ooh, sorry, leaf. You know, these plants, they can handle it. Maybe practice before you do. Have my fingers caught in there, okay? So, you know, just remove that. But you might do better with a clip. You could twist it and clip. See how you learn from these tutorials what not to do. But you'll want to do that. And so then I would make a note. If you had this hanging out in your house, I would put a reminder here. So later, when the other person comes into the room that's at your house and they say, "What is that?" You can say, "That's transpiration in action." So I'm going to put together some water cycle resources for you. They'll go out with your daily digest this evening, but I thought this might be easier just to show in video. Let's see if we're getting some. We're definitely getting some condensation, guys. Woo woo! Anything that the hand does that they experience in this way stays with them. That is the basis for Montessori learning, and you're doing it whether you're intentionally doing it or not. Just be with them, be mindful, take advantage of these videos and these things that I'm emailing out to you. If you're newer to the group, and that means you're probably an alumni that wanted to join, and that's great. Let me know if you want these daily digests. They might be helpful to you too. I can go back and try and forward them to you. For now, that's all. I've got to clean up a messy table. Maybe we'll eat out here tonight. Oh, wait, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna come around and show you that I legit have clothing on the line. And that was one of our things to do this morning. I don't have a lot right now. I'm taking you out of the holder, so hang in there. Okay. And I'm gonna change the, well, let me know. I just don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're coming over here. Can you see that? Ah, there it is. Recognize those napkins? The school napkins are keeping the rust off of Ethan's sweaters. I'll appreciate that. But I love this clothesline because it's on a pulley that goes way out there. And so I can really load it up. Advantages to the county. Notice I didn't put any of our underwear on there for you guys to have to look at. See you soon.